What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today I'm going to be discussing the last chapter of the Hotel Transylvania saga, Hotel Transylvania 3 from 2018. We bring back the voice talents of Adam Sandler, Selena Gomez, Andy Samberg, Kevin James, Steve Buscemi, Fran Drescher, Molly Shannon, David Spade, Keegan-Michael Key, Asher Blinkoff, and Mel Brooks. And we introduce to the fold the voices of Catherine Hahn and Jim Gaffigan. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again on the final chapter of the Hotel Transylvania saga, Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. I appreciate you guys kind of rolling with me here as we did this more kid-friendly trilogy. Like I said, we can't always do adult-themed content. Sometimes you've got to throw a little bone out there, give a little something for other audiences, and that's what this was all about. Let's get right into it, shall we, and wrap up this saga, this trilogy. The third installment of the series begins with a flashback, much like the original film did. It's 1897, and the Drac Pack are traveling to Budapest on a train in disguise. However, longtime arch enemy of Dracula, Professor Abraham Van Helsing, boards the train and exposes the disguised monsters for what they are. Van Helsing becomes obsessed with destroying Dracula, but Van Helsing is constantly outsmarted. We then come back to the present day, and Drac, Mavis, and Johnny are running the Hotel Transylvania smoothly and successfully. However, Drac is depressed that he is still single after all these years, after Martha's passing. Despite his attempts to meet somebody, Drac, no matter what he does, he just can't find someone special to have a relationship with. Now, Mavis misinterprets Drac's depression as stress from being overworked. So she decides to book a family cruise. She figures this way they can all take a break and spend time together as a family unit. Drac, Mavis, Johnny, Dennis, and even Vlad board a cruise ship called the Legacy, along with other hotel guests. Frankenstein and Eunice are there, Wayne, Wanda, and their pups, Murray, Griffin, the whole gang is together. When Drac sees Erica, the human captain, he is smitten and immediately falls for her. Something he thought was impossible since he had already zinged once before with Martha. Erica goes to a secret room on the ship's lower decks and meets with her great-grandfather, Abraham Van Helsing. Van Helsing has mechanized virtually his entire body in order to prolong his life and has concocted a plan to eliminate all the monsters at once. When the ship reaches the lost city of Atlantis, Van Helsing plans to utilize an instrument of destruction, which is hidden in the ruins of Atlantis. Van Helsing makes Erica promise not to assassinate Dracula beforehand, but she breaks the promise and fails multiple times to kill Drac. Frank, Wayne, Griffin, and Murray overhear Erica complain about her inability to get Drac, and they mistake it as a sign of affection. So Drac nervously asks Erica out. She accepts as she sees it as another opportunity to try to kill Drac. And when they dine on a deserted island, Erica begins to fall for Drac as they learn about each other's pasts. Mavis discovers that her father is interested in Erica, but is suspicious of Erica's motives. She realizes right away that something isn't right with Erica. The ship reaches Atlantis, which is now a casino, and Drac tells Mavis about his feelings for Erica. But Drac gets distracted when he sees Erica enter an underground crypt, and he decides to follow her. Mavis follows her father, and Drac learns that Erica is after a family heirloom. So with Drac's assistance, they are able to evade the booby traps, obtain the item, and escape. Mavis arrives and confronts them, and Drac confesses that he zinged with Erica. Mavis can't believe it, and Erica has no idea what they're talking about is a zine. What's a zine? So once Erica learns what a zine is, remember I told you during the first movie, a zine is basically a monster's version of Love at First Sight. So once Erica realizes what it is, she immediately rejects Drac and tells him that he has no chance, there's no romantic feelings on her end, leaving Drac heartbroken. A regretful Erica gives Van Helsing the instrument of destruction, and he sets a trap for the monsters in the form of a dance party. Mavis, realizing that Drac is still depressed over Erica, takes Johnny's advice and tells her dad to go talk to her. Mavis admits that she was afraid of her dad leaving her. Van Helsing shows up and eliminates the party DJ, and Erica is forced to reveal to Drac and everybody there that she is his great-granddaughter, which just floors Drac that he fell in love with the Van Helsing. You know, the bloodline that has just been trying to kill him. Van Helsing reveals the instrument of destruction, which is a piece of sheet music that when played will attract a kraken that lives near the island. Have it come and destroy the monsters. Drac attempts to stop the kraken, but gets injured in the process. Erica saves Drac and pleads with her great-grandfather Van Helsing to stop the attack, professing her love to Drac, which just infuriates Abraham Van Helsing, causing him to attack them both. So in order to pacify the kraken, Johnny breaks out a portable DJ kit and begins to play positive songs like Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys and Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. However, it's Los Del Rio's Macarena which relaxes and pacifies the kraken for good. Van Helsing is unable to counter the Macarena, and everyone begins to dance, including the sheet music, which rips itself to pieces in the process. Van Helsing also begins to dance, and he accidentally slips and falls off the ship, but Drac saves him. Humbled by the act of kindness, Van Helsing apologizes to the monsters, gives everyone a full refund on the price of the cruise before sending them home. Our film draws to a close with all the monsters back at the Hotel Transylvania, and Drac proposes to Erica, who stammers to answer the question before accepting and saying yes. Once again, I kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday when we did part 2. After the original, a lot of times films and trilogies tend to falter and fall off a little bit. They're not as good. Hotel Transylvania 2 definitely didn't suffer from that. And in my personal opinion, neither did Hotel Transylvania 3. As a matter of fact, I think Hotel Transylvania 3 is better than part 2, personally. That's just my personal opinion. Much like I touched on yesterday with the inclusion of Vlad and Bella and the nods to the Universal monster films of old with those characters. Van Helsing is Dracula's longtime arch nemesis. You go back and you watch the 1931 Bela Lugosi Dracula, and Van Helsing is in it. So for them to resurrect that name and bring it full circle, just an amazing little tip of the hat, little nod, if you will, to the classic Universal monsters of old. Anybody that wants to introduce a new generation to these classic characters, I highly recommend starting with this trilogy, Hotel Transylvania 1, 2, and 3, then skip and show the person in question Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which I'm sure I'll discuss when we get to October, and then wade into Boris Karloff as Frankenstein, Bela Lugosi as Dracula, Elsa Lanchester as the Bride of Frankenstein, Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman, Boris Karloff again as the Mummy, and so on and so on. But start with this trilogy. It's the perfect way to introduce a young generation to these classic characters so that when they watch the classics and they see things like Van Helsing, they can sit there and go, oh, so that's why. Yes, that's why. It totally brings things full circle. When it comes to my ranking of Hotel Transylvania 3, like I said, I think it's better than part 2. I honestly feel it's on par with number 1. So I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars, just like I did part 1. I really, really enjoy this series of films. And I hope you, my viewers out there who have stuck with me through these 3, enjoy them just as much as I do. What do you think of Hotel Transylvania 3? If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts over here. If you're watching it on demand, leave your comments in the comment box below. I will get back to you as I always do. Let's try to get out there on the social medias. Try to get those hashtags out there for me. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatboyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Don't forget to do what that commercial just told you. Get out there, go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all your merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network and the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Jeff Meacham Network logo t-shirts. You've got the Royal Rumble inspired logo, the Back to the Future inspired logo, and the LA Kings inspired logo. Get you your Meachamania t-shirts. Get you your Talk Wrestling shirts. Support the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirts, your Renegade JJ Williams, hashtag StatboyApproved, Statboy Sports Bar, and so much more. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, when I bring you yet another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. It'll be a very special episode. It'll be episode 100. That's right, 100 episodes of Renegades Reviews to date. And we're going to do number 100 with Friday, starring Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Johnny Witherspoon, Nia Long, Bernie Mac, Tiny Zeus Lister, and so many others. You're not going to want to miss Friday right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. You know that's going to be a good time. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all those that you watched the premiere. I greatly appreciate you guys. All you guys that tune in on demand, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. All my loyal viewers, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.